Hi, it's Julie at SylverStitches from Ottawa, Canada. This is take 3 actually, by the way, because I decided to press stop instead of pause last video. Had to go check something out. Anyway, 10:37 now. So I lost 7 minutes of recording time, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll make it up. So there were a few things that I worked on in the last couple weeks since I've spoken to you last. And here we go. We're going to jump right in again. So I was in the process of showing when I decided to take a break and come back to filming. I was working on, or I was working on Janlin's kit seasons, Winnie the Pooh seasons. It's quite older. It's really old. I don't know. I can't talk today. Sorry. I just decided I wanted to make a video. So, it's an older pattern. That's what I wanted to say. And there it is. So I had to go back, and I thought I pressed pause, but I guess I pressed stop. Maybe I took too long. I don't know. Because I was showing you this is how much I have finished of it. And I was thinking to myself, that is far more than 119 stitches plus 81 stitches. So all in all, I've put 522 stitches into this piece since you last saw it. So that was way up here when you last saw it. The blue was only to here. I did all of this, and I did some of that today as well. So this is the winter scene, of course. Not of course, but it's the winter scene. And so far, since I started counting stitches, I have stitched 522 stitches in this piece. So that's pretty good for me, which then ended up bumping up my total stitch count for the month of February so far, so that's good as well. I'll have to keep track of that somehow because I think I'm going to lose it. I keep looking at a paper that I have all my notes on because, you know, bad things happen when I don't have notes, apparently. At least at 10:40 at night. So that is whip number 1. I am still going strong on the no starts. There's a couple. I did find something that I'll talk about later because I will press pause this time. But there is something that I found online that I'm going to want to try to start next year. But I will talk about that later. So the next thing I worked on, actually maybe the first thing since I last saw you guys, the first thing that I worked on, that was only during the last few days. The way back when first thing, I don't know why is it sticky? Bad. Okay, I don't know if I showed it in the last video. I can't remember that far back, and I didn't watch. So it was Be My Honey. I didn't get a lot of stitches on this because I was at the hospital with James during his treatment. So I think I showed it to you, but anyway, here we go. Let's do it again. I cannot remember. So it was in the, it might have been stitched in pile, like talked about pile, might not have been. So here it is. I only really got that yellow part done. Besides the rest of his body, this part and that part. Not very much, but enough to say I still got some parts of it done, right? Right. So, it is Be My Honey by who knows. It was from a Pattern a Day calendar that was from 2010. So a cross stitch page a day calendar kind of thing from 2010. I am not using any of the called for colors, I'm pretty sure, because when I was picking it out last year, I was definitely stitching from stash and I didn't have any of the called for colors. No, that's not true. The color key is on another whole piece of paper in the calendar somewhere else, of course. So I had to pick out my colors as I went. That is the real story. The next thing I might have worked on since I talked to you last, and I have I want to try and do a new segment. Yeah, new segment, that's fun. Sorry. It's going to be called the lift segment. I'll explain later. But as for now, I finished the bottom border. Not finished the bottom border. I worked all the way across of the bunting. I'm going to get to that in my lift segment. But the bunting all the way on that bottom part. And I'll pull this back out and talk about the bunting later. But that's for the next segment, which is hopefully going to start today, and I can remember to do it every other time. So there we are. The next thing that I just decided to pick up tonight, because I was kind of tired of working on Winnie the Pooh, was Baby Hippo 123. Sorry, trying to. So through the glare, that's what it looks like. It's a Dimensions kit. I got it at Dollarama a summer ago. I think it was with James. Anyway, decided that I should pick up all of the $4 kits at the Dollarama in Canada. Anyway, so today I had completed 197 stitches. So all these columns are all half stitch. So I was counting those as every 2 stitches was 1 stitch, because that's not fair, right? So 197 stitches into this today. So I was approximately here, I'd say around here. So I filled in all of that, and then I started in on his body, the hippo's body. So that's good. 197, and my lighting's all wonky, but that's okay. So my stitch count as of right now for February is 1,131, which is very surprising because I didn't think I was ever going to get to over 1,000 per month. Yay! So that is good. I'm going to move on to this lift situation. When I let the world of Instagram know, I will tag all of the people that I talk about in this little segment. So everybody that I'm going to talk about are floss tubers. We'll start with the L, which is for things that I learned from the floss tube community. So a couple weeks ago, I guess, was it weeks, I guess? I don't know when it was, like when they first aired it, but it was Just Keep Stitching, so it was Pam and Steph. Of course, Pam loves Americana things, and that's cool. She was talking about one of her pieces and how it has bunting along the bottom against the table of one of her pieces, the Americana red, white, and blue bunting. So I took that as a learned thing, and so this right here, this little tablecloth thing, is also bunting. I remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking to you, maybe last or the last time, whatever, I couldn't think of the word of what it was, and so thank you to Pam and Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching. I learned that it was bunting. I don't know. Anyway, there we are. The next thing in lift is I, so L-I, inspire. So who was the most inspiring, I would say, over the people that over the floss tubers that I watch over the last couple weeks? And the person who has inspired me the most, I'm gonna get it out, hold on, it's right here. The person that has inspired me the most for the things that they are stitching is Michelle, so Bendy Stitchy. she is working on, of course, she's working on Contessa and Squid. So Josephine, she has claimed it the year of Josephine. Um, that's crazy. She's, wow. Anyway, oh, haha, that's where that book went that I was going to write my notes on, is in this thing. Anyway, so that inspired me to pull out my Heaven and Earth design. So my Haid, and I'll show you a picture of it. It is in black and white because it is printed out. So it's the Ancient Dragon Scholar by Ed Beard Jr. I have tried to, as everybody knows, tried to start this probably about 4 or 5 times. And I'm terrified to try and frog it out of the fabric. So I have all these little starts everywhere. Anyway, so I think, except for the fact that I couldn't see the last time I tried to work on it, so I stopped working on it. Part of that 1,131 is 100 stitches on the Ancient Dragon Scholar. So that's my first 100. My first 100. I'm pretty sure I showed it in the last video, but that over the last couple of weeks is what has been inspiring me to try and pick it up. As you can see, it's not going to be every day. It's when the lighting is good and I'm not tired and my eyes aren't all foggy, and which I guess lately hasn't happened. But that's okay, right? It's a journey, it's a process. It's the process, not the product. It's the journey, not the destination. So yeah, that's where I am on that. It's I think 8 or 9 colors of dark colors of brown shades. There's a few greens that are thrown in there, but it's mostly all shades of brown. So that was the L and the I. The F is things that I follow. So the new things that I follow, the current things, the still things that I'm following, goes out to Terry Lee at Terry Lee Crafts. I'm still following that 100K Sal 2019, only because it's interesting. It's interesting to see how I am stitching, like how long I'm stitching, not how long, but how many stitches I'm stitching for per time I stitch. I don't think I'm ever going to get to the 100K, but I didn't think I was going to get to 1,100 in, 3 weeks. So that's good. So I guess anything is possible, but 100K still seems like out there. But if you're able to do it, then that's awesome. I would love to see all of the things that you are stitching on. The 100K Style 2019 hashtag has increased a little bit. I keep searching and keep finding new people that have started following along on the hashtag, but we need to try and keep it going and see how we can do, right? Because that's it's important. It's important. It's important to try and be a collective. Not always working on the same projects, obviously, so that's kind of neat on how people are coming together with different projects to get this goal acquired. And I'm super happy that I came across it, because part of me wants to know how many stitches go into things, and then part of me at one point was like, why does it even matter? Stitching is stitching no matter how much. But it is pretty neat. The T for lift is try. So stitchers or floss tubers that have made me want to try new things or try new techniques or try different things in my life or whatever the case might be. This one, I had to think about it a little bit, but this one goes out to Caroline at Off the Grid Needle Arts. I can never remember the last syllable. Anyway, so following through with, I know that she has ever tote bags, and that is awesomely cool. I don't even know how she decided she wanted to start that. I guess I should go back in the videos and watch. But since I do design, to try and get my pieces out there. I want to try before too long. I'm not setting it as a, super right now goal, but maybe by the end of 2019 kind of thing, I would like to try and post my pieces somewhere, the ones that I've created, not necessarily as a storefront kind of thing, but just to get my patterns out there, just so that SylverStitches is known. I also, I still don't know what kind of platform I want to use, whether it's just going to be a website or whether it's Etsy, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, I don't know yet. I don't know where I want to set up my online world at. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions on how to go around that, right now, I have all my patterns. I just need to figure out, instead of having everything stitched first, because part of me says I can't start anything new this year, and part of me says it's going to take a long time to stitch everything. So, I don't know how to have a cover photo. Sorry. I don't know how to have a cover photo of the stitched piece without giving away the whole pattern. So, what do you do if you put patterns out online? What have you seen other people do? I know in reality I don't follow a lot of new up-and-comings, new designers, because I'm working from my stash this year, so I have the inclination to want to try to find more patterns, but I'm not really a big Etsy follower. Anyway, side note, that's fine. So thank you to Caroline for trying to get me to be inspired and learning and how to follow in my own footsteps. Look, you did it all. To try and get some form of online shop or online forum or blog or something uploaded with some of my patterns, all of my patterns, because I do have quite a lot that I want to share with the Stitchy world. And there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. I cannot remember the designer's name, so I might have to pause this time, not stop, just pause, and figure that out for you. So just hold on a second. I think it's a setting on my phone. I don't really know. So yes, the Snowflower Diaries, the series, not even just one pattern, the series of 12, so it's a monthly, like January, February, March, is called Joyful World. I don't know if anybody else has found it yet, or if anybody else has done it or, started it or anything like that. It's a series of months, and they're slightly on the prim side of, there's a whole, like each month has a different animal in it, but representing kind of the season, or the temperature, or the whatever it is outside, right? So, yeah, the Snowflower Diaries is the designer. I found her blog. I think it was a Sal from 2016, so it's been around a while. I think the Sal tag is Joyful World Sal or something like that. Anyway, I'm sure you could completely find it on Instagram, because it's most likely there. I haven't looked yet, but that's my next want to start. I still haven't started anything new. It's still completely a start-free year. Oh my goodness, I'm almost done. But I just wanted to, I don't know, shout out or do one of those, look what I found. I want to start it now. The Snowflower Diaries. So just look her up. I'm presuming she's a her. Is that bad? And check her out. And if January comes around and I'm still wanting to stitch it, which I probably will, I will probably start a hashtag again for, starting at the first of every month kind of thing. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that's it for me. My voice seems to be going away, and it's 11 o'clock and I have to work a whole day tomorrow. So I would like to upload this, or at least crop it all together, or whatever you do to it. And thank you to everyone who watches my videos, everyone who comments, everyone who subscribes. The amount of people I find who watch my videos are less than the amount of people that have subscribed. I'm thinking that's the way it is. I don't know, because there's so many people in the world, and anyway, I went back to my first video a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, like 70 people have watched it. Oh my goodness. If I had 70 subscribers, that would be great. Anyway, that's it for me for today, I think. And I have a super cute cat sleeping right beside me, and I'm surprised he hasn't woken up yet. But here's my little fur ball for today. Sorry if you see anything else. So, where is Simon? Where did he go? Where are you, Simon? Back up. Sorry if you're getting dizzy. Look how cute he is. He's just sleeping on the... Oh, adorable. Anyway, thank you for taking that trip with me. It didn't work out quite as well as I thought it would. But anyway, I will talk to everybody later, and hopefully it won't be as long as a break from my next video, from now till my next video. So it's 11 o'clock on February 21st, 2019, and I will talk to everybody. I need to go to bed. I will talk to everybody later. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon, whatever it may be when you're watching this. And adios and ciao. Bye, everybody.